Financial accounts. In this presentation, we're going to look at some of the financial accounts that a business organisation has to produce. By the end of this presentation, you should be able to define the users of accounting information, be able to define the term income statement, and be able to construct an income statement. So let's have a recap from our last lesson. What are the two types of profit that exist? What are the formulas to calculate these types of profit? And what is meant by the term cost of sales? You may want to pause the video while you answer these questions, and I'll just run through them with you again in a minute. Okay, what are the two types of profit that exist? You should have had gross and you should have had net. Remember, gross is the largest profit. Think of the word grotesquely obese. Gross meaning big or fat. What are the formulas to calculate these? Well, gross profit, you should have got revenue minus cost of sales equals gross profit. Remember, revenue is all the money coming into the business. Rev in you, in. So all the money coming in there, revenue. And of course, cost of sales is the cost of producing the product or service that you're selling. So the actual cost of producing that service or operating that service. We're looking at some financial information. Who do you think will want to know the financial details about how an organisation is performing? Maybe pause the video and think about this, and then we'll run through some answers. Okay, I'm hoping with your answers you were thinking things such as you would want the business owner would want to know how the business is performing. He would want to know what his business is doing. The bank manager might want to know how the business is performing if he's thinking about lending money to the business. The shareholders might want to know how the business is performing if they're going to invest their money into the business. The government might want to know how the business is performing, so it knows about taxation. Your customers may want to know how the business is performing if they want to know, are you a reliable company to deal with? And that could go for your suppliers as well. And you could also think about it in a logical sense. The local community might want to know how your business is performing because they might want to be concerned about what's happening in their local area and how the organisation is doing when it comes to their job security and the prospects of developing their jobs. So what sort of financial information do stakeholders want to know about the business? Typically, all stakeholders want to know about profitability, so how the business is doing when it comes to profitability. However, they may have different interests and different focuses they want to know about. So, for example, a bank definitely would want to know about your profitability and want to look at your past profitability before it would lend money to you. Whereas maybe the owner of a business is looking about a cost, so he wants to know how costs are progressing, so are costs increasing over time? Because he may be concerned that if costs are increasing, that might be reducing his profits. That could be one of the factors that makes a decision on how the business is performing. So these are all considerations that you've got to think about when putting a business and think about how a business operates. So profitability. Most people want to know how profitable their business actually is. And they want to know the gross and the net profit figures. And typically we need one document that tells us all about this. We want something that's very simple and very clear. And that document is called the income statement. Now the income statement is now the new term that's used for a document that used to be called the profit or loss account. Quite simply, the income statement shows us the profit or loss that a business has made. And it typically shows it over a yearly period. That's when we conduct our profit and loss. So you can look back and work out how a business has performed on an annual basis. So what does an income statement look like? Now the first part of the income statement is called the trading account. Now the trading account is the part that shows you the profit that's been made from the business conducting its normal operations, selling its products or services. And the trading account comprises of these areas: the sales revenue, so remember all the money going into the business, the cost of sales, so the cost to actually produce your product or service, and then the gross profit, so what you've made from your business. Remember the formula for gross profit is sales revenue minus cost of sales. So you see an example, £100,000 minus £40,000 gives you a gross profit of £60,000. Fairly straightforward. Remember, that's going to be the largest profit figure because we haven't taken away our expenses, and that's what the next part of the income statement actually does. So the lower part of the income statement includes all the other expenses. So you can see they've got a salary. So remember, that's a fixed amount we're going to pay. That's not a wage. Remember, wages are variable. We've got salaries are fixed costs. We've got our rent we're going to pay out. So we've got to pay our rent regardless. I'm going to add them all up, and that gives a total expenditure of £50,000. And then when we've got our £50,000, we're going to take away that from our gross profit to work out our net profit. So remember, we had a gross profit of £60,000 minus £50,000 gives us £10,000 in net profit. And that shows us how much the business gets to take home at the end of the year or share with its shareholders. So it's considerably less than the £60,000 that we saw before with our gross profit. And that is what our completed income statement looks like, as you can see there. So you've got an income statement there that shows you broken down with the highlighted trading account, and it shows you all the different sections broken down into smaller chunks. Let's give you a little task to have a go at. Have a look at my booklet and try and complete the documents. Try and work out how you complete the income statement. It gets progressively harder as you go through it, but I'm sure you can do it. And if I was to the next section there, you can see there a little question for you, just see how much you understand. Which section A or section B, would show you the trading account, and could you complete letters A, B and C for me? I'm sure you can, but I'll let you have a go at it. Pause the video and I'll go through the answers with you very quickly. Okay, should have got section A would have been the trading account, and answer A should have been sales revenue minus cost of sales. So 140,000 minus 40,000 gives you £100,000. Section B, we find out our total expenditure. You need to add them together. So 40,000 plus 20,000 gave us £60,000, and you've got a gross profit of £100,000. Take away your £60,000 in expenses, and a net profit of £40,000 overall. And that should now conclude this presentation, and you should have a great understanding of the financial income statement.